Welcome to Dragonfly Trading. My name is Carrie. I'm a full-time trader and mentor in the crypto and Forex markets. Today's video is going to be an update on Bitcoin, ETH, XRP, and we're going to take a look at the DXY. It's going to be a little lengthy, so bear with me. Took a little time off to spend with family, but I'm back now. I'm going to run the discount on the course in the Discord all through the end of this week. So Sunday will be the last day. So take advantage of that. All right, let's get started. So what I want to point out in this chart that I have up, this is the prior bull run of 2021. I want you to take a look at this area right here where the box is. Bitcoin had a series of ones and twos back here. And then it had a 1 and a 2. This was all a third wave. Now in this area, it had a correction that was making higher highs and higher lows in a channel. It then broke out of the channel to the upside and squeezed. Now what I want to point out is that this correction that it made was a running correction, meaning that the correction made higher highs and higher lows also. And it was very shallow and very quick. It also stayed on top of the channel and the price action and then continued on. So what does this mean? Well, let's take a look at what Bitcoin is doing now. All right, so I have pretty much every scenario that can happen all planned out on the chart here. We're going to go over the most bullish scenario first. The most bullish scenario is that Bitcoin is going back on a bull run. That this wave to the upside was a 1, that this pullback was a 2, and that this wave is in the middle of a third wave. Notice that Bitcoin had this upward channel and now is broken out to the upside. Now the big question is it going to make a running correction and continue on? That could very well be. Or is this wave the end of something? Let's go over if it's the start of something first. If it's the start of something, it can be a wave 1 and pull back for a very shallow wave 2. That means that this is the start of something and it's going to blast off. It's not until we get up into this area whether we'll know if it's a third wave or a C wave. This is taught in my course where we need an additional fourth that holds fourth wave territory and then an additional fifth to confirm that a bull run is happening. Course goes much more deeper into it. When we get up into this area, we will talk about it some more. That is the most bullish scenario. Now, of course, this can continue to push out of the channel and still be a C wave coming up into the expanded B pocket. What does that mean? It means that Bitcoin will still get this partner leg, but it would be extremely bullish, where it makes a running correction, where that partner leg never breaks this low. Okay, so even if Bitcoin ends up making the C wave, it's still extremely bullish and it'll break the all-time high. All right, so now let's go over the more complex scenario. The more complex scenario is that this is a C wave and it's coming to an end. That it will turn into a W. That Bitcoin will shuffle sideways in a sideways consolidation. It will make an X wave. And then it will make an additional 3 waves to the upside in a Y wave. This is just a different way to break the all-time high and get up into that expanded B pocket. Instead of making a C wave, it consolidates in this channel and makes a Y wave. And then, of course, there's always a bear scenario. In the bear scenario would be that this C wave here is coming to an end. That this was an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave. What starts with 5 must end with 5, okay? It could be done here very, very soon, or it could have an additional 4th and a 5th to go. When it is complete, we will get a very harsh rejection coming through this 4th wave territory. We'll get a dead cat bounce and then break this channel. At that point, we want to see this area hold. This will be our line in the sand. We will have to wait and see if we get just a connector or we get something more powerful to the upside. If we get just a connector, then we'll get a partner leg and on down it will go, making this first leg. There is a chance that Bitcoin can save itself, but it needs to hold approximately 25 to 20K. Well, if this scenario happens, we will talk more about it when that happens. Now, the big giveaway will be the harsh rejection that breaks 30K and breaking this 4th wave territory. All right, so we're on the lower time frame of Bitcoin. The way that I have it counted is that this was a 1 and a 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we had a nest of 1s and 2s, where we had 1, 2, 3, all of this was 4, and this was 5. Now, if this is a 1 and a 2, we would expect an additional 4th wave and then a 5th to the upside. Now, there is a chance that I have this counted incorrectly, that this wave ended at this high peak. What would that mean? It would mean that this wave is not the end of something, that it's the start of something. If it's the start, it means that it's a wave 1. Remember that pullback that I talked about that was the running pullback? It would make a wave 2 here. That means that it would blast to the upside and it wouldn't give us just a 5th wave. It would run for a 3rd wave. Now, the key to this is obviously holding this low. But if it's a 4th wave, it's going to hold this low also. So regardless of whether it's a 2 or it's a 4, we're looking for this wave to end and to pull back bullishly. What we don't want to see is a harsh rejection of 5 waves that comes through this 4th wave territory. This would mean that Bitcoin would make a connector and an additional 5 waves. It can still save itself, but obviously we would rather the more bullish scenario. If Bitcoin was to break 4th wave territory and give us something of this nature, we would still flip to hoping that this wave is the start of something. Not until we break this low that the bullish idea that this is the start of something goes out the window. So there's a lot of moving parts to this, but it boils down to, does Bitcoin hold this territory? And is it very, very bullish, where this is a 1 and a pullback for a 2? Or does it have an additional 4th and a 5th to go before we see what type of pullback it's going to give us? All right, so now we're on ETH, and I have all the scenarios on the table. The most bullish scenario is that this wave was a 1, 2 pullback, 1, 2 pullback, and then we want this wave to be the start of something. We want it to turn into a wave 1, pull back for a 2, and then blast to the moon. Not until we get up into this area will we know whether it's a C wave or a wave 3. But it will still break the all-time high going into the expanded B pocket. And when this leg gets a partner, it will be still very bullish, where it will not break this low. Now, a not so bullish scenario is that it's moving up complexly. that this wave was a W, this wave was an X, and now it's going to give us an A, a B, and a C for a Y wave. This is still very bullish and could break the all-time high. It just remains in the channel. Now this area right here is where we will be looking for the 2 or the B. Doesn't matter which one it gives us. We would expect an additional wave to the upside. Now the only bearish scenario that I see with ETH is that if this wave is soon to come to an end and it's attached to this A wave and it's very small, okay, where it may get to the 1-to-1 with an additional wave to the upside, just like Bitcoin, where it makes an additional 4th wave here and then a 5th wave, and then the C wave is over and we get that harsh rejection that comes through 4th wave territory. Okay, so this is the area that we want to see ETH hold, just like Bitcoin. We want this wave to be the start of something. Hold on top of this price action and pull back for a wave 2. This is extremely bullish and it will blast to the moon in a big 3rd wave. What it can also do, just like Bitcoin, is create an additional 4th wave here and then a 5th wave to the upside before it pulls back for that B wave or that wave 2. All right, XRP. XRP had an expanding diagonal for a wave 1, pulled back for a wave 2. This is the mega bull scenario. An additional expanding diagonal for a 1, pull back for a wave 2. This wave to the upside could be a wave 1 and a pullback for a wave 2 as long as it remains above the red line at approximately 43 cents. It's extremely bullish and could push to the upside in a big 3rd wave. Now, an alternative scenario is that this wave 2 is not in yet. As long as it holds above this red line at 29 cents, preferably not breaking this support, this wave could be giving this leg a partner, doing something like this. So as long as it stays above the red line at 43 cents, it doesn't matter which 2 it is, whether it's the blue 2 or the yellow 2. We're going to play it exactly the same way. It's only until it breaks this red line that we would assume this 2 is coming deeper, the yellow 2. As long as it remains above this red line, it is extremely bullish and will eventually push to the upside in a wave 3. Okay, so there's always a bear scenario and a more complex scenario. The more complex scenario is that this was a W, this was an X, and it's moving upwards for a Y. This Y could break the all-time high, and it would mean that this leg would get a partner, but it would be extremely bullish, making a higher low, just like Bitcoin and ETH. It would mean that this wave is an A, that it's pulling back for a B wave, and it's going to go to the upside in a C. So it doesn't matter whether it's putting in a B or a wave 2. We're looking for the same thing, for this low to hold. The bear scenario is that this wave is a W, that this pullback is an X, and that eventually this is going to break down for a Y wave. And what it will mean is that it's the first wave of giving this leg its partner leg. Means that this whole correction is coming deeper. That is the bear scenario. All right, so right now in XRP, there is a chance that this pullback is done, that this wave is a wave 1, this pullback was a wave 2. Breaking this low will invalidate that, and all it will mean is that this leg is getting a partner leg, and that we're still looking for that wave 2. It's not until we break that red line low that the wave 2 or the B comes off the table. But right now, invalidation point for this to be a little wave 1 and 2 pullback is this low. Could very well be that the correction is done and it's ready to move. So I still have this same count for the DXY, where this move to the upside was an ABC, putting in a W. This middle move was a zigzag, putting in an X. That this wave to the upside was an A wave. What we're looking for is the B wave. When the B wave is over, we should expect a C wave. This would not be good for crypto. This would put crypto into, that partner leg and additional bear market. But if DXY has not finished this B wave, that will be very good for crypto. Okay, so let's talk about that B wave that we're looking for. We have this wave to the downside. It looks like 5 waves to me. We have this middle flat, potentially. And then this leg should give a partner to the downside. This would allow Bitcoin to run before the DXY makes that turn for the Y wave. This wave right here was Bitcoin's entire move to the upside. So as long as the DXY continues down, giving this leg a partner or even a deeper partner, that is good for crypto. Now, there's always an alternative scenario where the B wave is in, and that this wave to the upside is not the end of something, it's the start. And that it is the start of giving this leg its partner, which would be horrible for crypto. And it means that this wave is going to continue to the upside bullishly, that this is a 1 and this is a 2. All right, so what do we need to happen for this to go bearishly? We need this wave to be a wave 4. We do not want the DXY to break through this 4th wave territory, and we want it to roll over for an additional 5th wave, so that we can call this wave a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5, because what starts with 5 ends with 5, and it will mean that the DXY has more downside to go. If the DXY breaks through this 4th wave territory, then we're going to look at this wave as a leading diagonal. So if we just get a little pullback here and then it breaks through it, well, that's not good. It means that this was an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave, and that this pullback could be a wave 2. So pay attention to the DXY. It'll give us some clues of what crypto plans to do. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Don't forget about the course, and I will see you in the next one.